Hello dear students, welcome to Konar classes. Today we are going to discuss the 8 properties as you see in the whiteboard of definite integrals. Okay, so let's start. The first property, dear students, is P0, and it starts with P0, P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6 and P7. So P0 to P7 there are 8 properties and we are going to discuss those. You need to remember this, and what we are going to discuss in this session is to how we got these properties, the proof of those properties that we are going to discuss. The first one, what is that? Integration a to b fx dx is equal to integration a to b ft dt. So how we are going to get it? So this is for P0. Okay, integration a to b fx dx. Okay, so let x equal to t, then what we get, dear students? Dx is equal to dt, and the limit of a and b of x, the variable x will remain same of t because x is equal to t. Or we can say that if we have x and t like this, okay, so what we can write here is that when x is equal to a, okay, t is a, and when x is equal to b, t is equal to b. So what we can write from here, integration a to b fx become ft and dx become dt. So we are done with the proof for the first property, that is P0. Now dear students, let's concentrate on P1. Okay, so if you look at P1, so the P1 property says that integration a to b fx dx is equal to minus integration b to a fx dx. So let's now think about integration a to b fx dx. Now dear students, if we find what is the antiderivative of lowercase fx dx, so let, okay, capital F be antiderivative of f. If this is the case, then what we can write? Integration a to b fx dx, that we get from the second fundamental theorem of integral calculus. What is that? That is equal to, we can write capital FB minus FA. Correct? You can look into my earlier session where I discussed about that, second fundamental theorem of integral calculus. So this equal to what we can write? This equal to, we can write minus of FA minus FB. Correct or not? So that means what we can write? So this is equal to minus integration, according to the second fundamental theorem of integral calculus, it should be b to a fx dx, where uppercase f is the antiderivative of lowercase f. So we are able to prove the the property P1. Let me repeat once more. Integration a to b fx dx, that is equal to capital FB minus capital FA, where capital F is the antiderivative of lowercase f, and that we are getting from the second fundamental theorem of integral calculus. Now capital FB minus capital FA, that is equal to minus of capital FA minus capital FB, just rearranging. Then we wrote this minus as it is. Now capital FA minus capital FB is nothing but b to a fx dx, lowercase fx dx, because uppercase fx is the antiderivative of lowercase fx. So we are done with property P1. Now let's look into property P2. Okay, so in property P2 we need to apply the concept of antiderivative, hence I kept it here. So what is property P2? Property P2 is saying that integration a to b fx dx. So what we can write here, dear students? So that is equal to capital FB minus capital FA. Now as we have seen that the right hand side of the property P2 is A2C fx dx plus C2B fx dx. So we can rearrange that capital FB minus capital FA is something like this. That is equal to, which is equal to capital FC minus capital FA. Okay. Plus we can write that capital FB minus capital FC. Okay, capital FB minus capital FA we have rearranged like this: capital FC minus capital FA plus capital FB minus capital FC. So we can club these two together, the first two and here the last two. Now what is capital FC minus capital FA? From the second fundamental theorem of integral calculus we can write this is equal to A to C lowercase fx dx plus capital FB minus capital FC, that is equal to integration C to B lowercase fx dx. Correct? And that is nothing but the right hand side of the property, P2. So I hope you got a very clear idea. Now let's look into the property P3. And dear students, in property P3 what we see is that we need to prove that integration a to b fx dx is equal to integration a to b f of a plus b minus x dx. Okay, so let's start. So what is this? Integration a to b fx dx. Now let us assume that a plus b minus x equal to t. Let a plus b minus x is equal to t. Then if we make this substitution, that t is a new variable which is equal to a plus b minus x. Now if we make a differentiation of both the sides, so what we will get? Differentiation of a is 0 plus differentiation of b is 0 minus dx, that is differentiation of minus x. So minus dx is equal to dt, or we can say that dx is equal to minus dt. Okay. Now another thing is that limit should also change. So this a and b, the lower limit and upper limit are for the variable x. Then what will be for the variable t? So for that we can have this table, okay, and write it down. So when x is equal to a, then what is the value of t? When x is equal to a, so a and minus I will get cancelled, so we will get the value of t as b. And when the value of x is equal to b, so plus b and minus b will cancelled and value of t will be a. So it is a. So what we get here, dear students? So from here we get integration, that limit when x is a, then we see t is b, so it is b. And when x is b, then t is a. So b to a, f of what is x? X is nothing but a plus b minus t. A plus b minus t. And what is dx? So you can write dt here and minus here. Okay, correct? So we can put the equal sign here. Okay. So now what we can write? Minus b to a f of a plus b minus t dt is nothing but this is equal to integration a to b f of a plus b minus t dt. You know from where we get? We get it from the property P1. Property P1 tells na integration a to b fx dx is equal to minus integration b to a fx dx. So we can say it here that by property P1. Now dear students, that we see that integration a to b f of a plus b minus t dt is equal to integration a to b f of a plus b minus x dx, and that we are getting from property P0. So what we can write here? So we can write this is equal to integration a to b f of a plus b minus x dx, and that is nothing but the right hand side of property P3. Okay, we are done. Now let's concentrate on property P4. If you look at property P4, this is a special case of property P3. If you just assume that A is equal to 0 and B is equal to A, okay, you will get property P4. What is that? What we know from the property P3? From property P3 we know that integration a to b fx dx is equal to integration a to b f of a plus b minus x dx. Now what we are going to do is that we are replacing a by 0 and b by a. Then what we are going to get by means of this replacement, so from here we get integration a to b will not now become integration 0 to a. Integration 0 to a fx dx is equal to integration a to b should become 0 to a. 0 to a f of a is what? 0 plus a minus x. So you can write 0 plus a minus x dx. So that is equal to integration 0 to a f of a minus x dx, and which is nothing but the right hand side of the property P4. So the way to prove property P4 is that first you prove property P3 and then you take that specific value of a and b and you are done. But in generic also you can prove. So let us prove that one. Okay. So what is the left hand side of the property P4, dear students? So left hand side of property P4, integration 0 to a fx dx. Now dear students, so what the substitution we are going to make? Let a minus x is equal to t. This implies what, dear students? That if we make a differentiation of both the sides, so in the left hand side we get minus dx is equal to dt. So this implies dx is equal to minus dt. Okay, and we need to find the new lower limit and upper limit with respect to the variable t, and for that the way we have done it earlier, okay, that to create a table. So when x is equal to 0, okay, we get the value of t is equal to a from this relationship a minus x equal to t, and when x is equal to a, we get the value of t is equal to 0. So what you get it here, dear students? So this is equal to integration 0 to a becomes a to 0. A to 0 f of x. What is x? X is nothing but a minus t. A minus t, and dx is equal to what, dear students? Minus dt. So minus I can keep it here and dt. So minus integration a to 0 f of a minus t dt, that will become integration 0 to a f of a minus t dt, and that we are getting from property P1. So we can write it here, that from P1. Now integration 0 to a f a minus t dt, that is equal to integration 0 to a f of f a minus x dx, and that we are getting from property P0. Okay, so we can write here that from P0, sorry, here you should write from P1. Okay, so we are done with property P4. Now let's concentrate on property P5. Okay, so what is there in property P5, dear students? That integration 0 to 2a fx dx is equal to integration 0 to a fx dx plus integration 0 to a f 2a minus x dx. Let's see. Okay, so what is there? Integration left hand side of property P5 is integration 0 to 2a fx dx. Now we can write this is equal to integration 0 to a fx dx plus integration a to 2a fx dx, and that we are getting from property P2, correct? So that we are getting from P2. Okay, now what we can do is that let as it is, the 0 to a fx dx less as it is. Now let's concentrate on a to 2a fx dx. So what we are going to do, let me use a different color. So we just want to concentrate on finding the value of a to 2a fx dx. So what we are going to do, for that let's make a substitution that let 2a minus x equal to t. So let 2a minus x is equal to t. Now if we make differentiation of both the sides, so we get minus dx in the left hand side is equal to dt. That implies what? That dx is equal to minus dt. Now as we made this substitution, we need to change the limits as well. So for which we need to construct this table x to t. Now when x is equal to a, we get the value of t is equal to 2a minus a, that is equal to a. And when we get the value of x is equal to 2a, we get the value of t is 0. So what is this value we are getting then? So the value what we are getting, this is equal to, in terms of the variable t, so when it is a, so a to 0. A to 0 fx, what is x? X is equal to 2a minus t. So f of 2a minus t, and dt is equal, dx equal to what? Minus dt. So we can keep it minus here and dt, correct? Then what we can write, dear students? So this is equal to minus integration a to 0 f 2a minus t dt is equal to integration 0 to a f 2a minus t dt, and that we are getting from property P1, correct? So what we can write in bracket is that from property P1. And now by means of that property P0 we can write integration 0 to a f 2a minus t dt is equal to integration 0 to a f 2a minus x dx. So what we can write here, dear students? So this we can write integration 0 to a f 2a minus x dx. So you are done. So what we can write from here? So this equal to, we can write here, this is equal to as it is, this is integration 0 to a fx dx plus a to 2a fx dx is nothing but 0 to a f of 2a minus x dx. So integration we can write 0 to a f 2a minus x dx, and this is the right hand side of property P5. Okay, dear students, so now let's concentrate on P6. Property P6 tells that integration 0 to 2a fx dx is equal to 2 into integration 0 to a fx dx if f 2a minus x is equal to fx, or it is equal to 0 if f of 2a minus x equal to minus fx. So now to prove that property P6, we need to take assistance from property P5. So let's start with property P6. What is this? Integration 0 to 2a fx dx. Integration 0 to 2a fx dx, according to property P5, it is integration 0 to a fx dx plus, first we write integration 0 to a fx dx plus integration 0 to a f 2a minus x dx. 0 to a f 2a minus x dx. Now dear students, if f 2a minus x equal to fx, then what we will get? We will get this entire integration equal to 0 to a fx dx plus 0 to a fx dx. So what I am writing here is that if, so if you can write it here, if f of 2a minus x is equal to fx, what we are going to get? The value of this integration. So this integration will be equal to, so from here what we can write, this is equal to integration 0 to a fx dx plus integration 0 to a fx dx, correct? So that means 2 times integration 0 to a fx dx, that is equal to 2 times integration 0 to a fx dx. Now dear students, let's take that f of 2a minus x equal to minus fx. So then what we are going to get? If f 2a minus x is equal to minus fx, then what we are going to get, dear students? This inequality. So from here what we are going to get? So this is equal to integration, the first one as it is 0 to a fx dx, and then plus integration 0 to a f of 2a minus x is now minus fx. So that minus we can bring it in the outside of the integration and we can write fx dx. So now dear students, integration 0 to a fx dx minus integration 0 to a fx dx, that will be what? That is the value is equal to 0. Okay. So we are able to prove both the branches of property P6. Now dear students, let's concentrate on property P7. So what is property P7? Property P7 says that integration minus a to a fx dx is equal to 2 times integration 0 to a fx dx if f is an even function, that is f of minus x equal to fx. If f of minus x equal to fx, then we call fx is an even function, and if f of minus x equal to minus fx, we call fx is an odd function. So that will be going to be 0 if f is an odd function, that is f of minus x equal to minus fx. So now let's start. What is P7? Integration minus a to a fx dx. Minus a to a fx dx, we can write this is equal to integration minus a to 0 fx dx plus integration 0 to a fx dx. I hope all of you are able to understand why so, and that we have done by means of the property P2. Okay, so we can write it here that by P2. Now dear students, let's concentrate on this integration minus a to 0 fx dx. Okay, so integration minus a to 0 fx dx. Okay, so now minus a to 0 fx dx, how we are going to compute, dear students? So for that, let's take a substitution. Let x is equal to minus t. So this implies what? This implies dx is equal to minus dt, and we need to take that new limit with respect to the variable t from the variable x. For that we are constructing this small table. Then when x is equal to minus a, the t should be equal to a, because x equal to minus t, so it is a. And when x is equal to 0, okay, t should also be equal to 0. So what we are going to get it here? So this we get integration minus a to 0, that means it is a to 0. A to 0, f of x, f of minus t, because x is equal to minus t. And what is dx? Dx is nothing but minus dt. So minus we can take out of this integration and we can write dt. So now dear students, minus integration a to 0 f of minus t dt is nothing but 0 to a f of minus t dt. So that is equal to, we can write integration 0 to a f of minus t dt, and that we are getting by means of property P1, correct? So we get that is by P1. And dear students, integration 0 to a f minus t dt is integration 0 to a f minus x dx. So what you can write it here? So this is equal to integration 0 to a f minus x dx, and that we are getting from property P0, correct? So what you can write here? So that you can write by P0. Okay dear students, so now what we get? We get this entire integration now become, so if we write it here, so what we are going to get? This is equal to integration that minus a to 0 fx dx is now 0 to a f of minus x dx. 0 to a f of minus x dx plus, as it is, integration 0 to a fx dx plus integration 0 to a fx dx. Now let's concentrate dear students. Suppose that function f is an even function, okay? So let me clean this portion. If f is an even function, if f is an even function, what is the meaning of even function? Even function means f of minus x equal to fx. So that means f of minus x is equal to fx. Then what it will become? So then in this case this will become integration 0 to a fx dx, because we know f of minus x equal to fx, plus integration 0 to a fx dx. So integration 0 to a fx dx plus integration 0 to a fx dx, that is equal to 2 times integration 0 to a fx dx. So that we are able to prove the first branch when f is an even function. Now let us use a different color and consider f, let f be an odd function. Now if f is an odd function, what does it mean? That means f of minus x is equal to minus fx, correct? So from here what we are going to get then? So from here what we are going to get, so this is equal to minus of integration 0 to a fx dx, okay, plus integration 0 to a fx dx. 0 to a f minus x dx is equal to minus 0 to a fx dx, because f of minus x equal to minus fx, as in this branch f is an odd function. So you get minus 0 to a fx dx plus integration 0 to a fx dx. So that becomes 0. Okay, and we are done with the proof of the second branch of this property 7. So with this note, dear students, let me conclude the class here. In the next session, we will solve 6 questions, okay, of definite integration, and there we will see that we are going to use these 8 properties. So before you look into the next session, please go through all these 8 properties. As I said in the beginning of this session, that you need to remember all these 8 properties. And here what we have done, we have proved all these things. You should look into this proof also, because that will give you an idea exactly how this has been done. So with this note, let me conclude the class here. Then we will meet soon. Till then, thank you very much. Take care. Bye.